Peaches, glad to see you snuggling back to another video. Today I'm reviewing SlimeCityB. I purchased 3 8 ounces from her and everything came securely bubble wrapped, so nothing cracked, nothing leaked, and I just love how she put everything together in this box, especially the pink shredded paper. It just looks so adorable. I do want to mention really quickly, I apologize, I didn't film an outro for this video, so at the end I will just give my final regards to all this stuff like I normally do, but I just wanted to mention that because I'm an idiot and I forgot to do that. Anyways, besides the slime, she sent these extras in this bag. It included a SlimeCityB sticker, some candy canes, another piece of candy, and some extras for the slimes that I purchased. Starting off, she sent this 3-ounce extra, so thank you so much. This is a purple, almost pigmented, maybe pigmented, clear jelly cube slime that has some little snowflake Fimos in it. This one is on her shop. I think it's a sugar plum themed slime. I didn't purchase it because I'm not a huge fan of jelly cube slimes, but it was a very nice extra. It definitely looks like it was sticking to my hands, and that's because it was. Right before this, I was watching a YouTube video that I was getting really interested in, and it was getting pretty intense, so my hands were getting really hot, and then I decided to film this. So it's not the slime getting sticky, it's just the fact that my hands were extremely hot at this point. I couldn't pinpoint what type of scent this was because I've never actually smelled sugar plum before, if that's what it's themed. I honestly can't remember, but it smelled extremely sweet and really subtle, but I kind of liked it like that. I think it fit the theme a lot better. Starting off this review, we have white chocolate peppermint bark, which is a thick and glossy slime scented like peppermint white chocolate, and it comes with some peppermint Fimos, Christmas themed sprinkles, and some chocolate sprinkles. The first thing that I noticed about this slime was how thick it was. Like, this is insanely thick. It reminds me of when glue wall was first being used for slimes and we discovered that we could make like extremely thick slimes, like the type that are so thick that the stretch isn't the greatest. That's what this one reminds me of. It just feels like that OG thick texture, and it really brings me back to those days. Like mentioned, because this is so thick, the stretch isn't the greatest. It definitely rips when stretched too fast, but if you stretch it slow, then it has a pretty great stretch. And honestly, I think it's a good trade-off for how thick this is, because like I could hold this in my hand for a good few hours and I don't think it would melt at all. I'd still be able to take it off my hands with no problem. It is really that thick. I also love the whole aesthetic with this slime. Obviously, it's peppermint bark themed and like it looks exactly like peppermint bark. I honestly haven't had peppermint bark in the longest time. It's been at least 5 years, I think, because I just don't make it. It's not really the type of thing that I think about. I just during the holiday season, I think about cookies. I don't really think about peppermint bark, but I need to make some because it sounds pretty delicious right now. When this slime inflates, it becomes a super chubby, kind of jiggly slime. I don't know. Most slimes when they inflate get kind of jiggly. This one a little more than I would expect just because of how thick it is. I keep going back to how thick it is. It's thick. But anyways, it becomes a really chubby texture, which I've been in love with lately. I used to hate them because they just felt weird, but now that I'm getting used to them, they're some of my favorites because they're just so fun to squish. This is definitely another one of those types of slimes that I get mesmerized with because of the texture. I kept playing with this one. I loved how it felt when it inflated. I loved poking it. It was just insanely fun to play with. I will admit, thick and glossies aren't my favorite anymore. They're becoming a boring texture to me just because there's not a lot to them, if that makes sense, but there is. I don't know. It's hard to explain, but I really enjoyed this one. Of course, this one gets 5 out of 5 pajamas. Next up, we have Snowman Crisp, which is a white glue, slushy, and snow fizz hybrid that is scented like Peppermint Bark Oreos, and it comes with a little packet of different colored clay chunks and snowman Fimos. I am loving the color with this one. It's like a light pink. It is very gorgeous, and it reminds me of a melted candy cane, which with the scent, it kind of puts the theme all together, and I think it's a nice change from like just a red or white slime to represent Christmas. As a side note, there's definitely been a lot of confusion with slime jars in the slime community and how much they hold. Like, it's been a whole debate lately. But from what I can tell, these slimes were sent in 10-ounce containers, and she left some room at the top for overflow, which I just wanted to mention how much I appreciate that. Like, I think I would rather have less slime in a container or a bigger container than have like either an extra container on the side or you have to deal with the inflation yourself, because obviously after a while it will fit back in the container. But for slimes like this one, when they inflate quite a lot, it's really annoying to have a slime sitting on your desk overflowing for a few days. So I just wanted to mention how much I appreciated the extra room in the containers. This slime seriously surprised me with its texture. It's a white glue slushy and snow fizz hybrid, so I'm expecting an extremely crunchy slime. Even for people with sensitive hands, sometimes a slime like this could hurt, but I seriously doubt this one would. Like, the best way to describe this one is soft. Like, the bubble pops seemed soft. There weren't as many as I thought there would be. It wasn't as crisp, which is a little disappointing, but at the same time, I'm loving the uniqueness of this one. I'm not sure how she did it because this one is completely packed with add-ins, but at the same time, it feels so soft on my hands. I don't know what is happening with this one, but the texture is definitely unique. I also experienced something interesting with the scent. Usually when it's a very light scent, I'm not a big fan, but with this one, whatever kind of scent combo is in this one, it was extremely sweet. I could definitely smell the cream from the Oreos. It kind of reminded me of that icing from wedding cakes. It's like unbearably sweet. I'm not gonna lie, I still eat it, but it's like extremely sweet. So I'm kind of glad that this one had a more subtle scent, because if it was stronger, it might have made me have like somehow a toothache without eating candy. It was weird. My only downside for this slime is that it left quite a bit of residue on my hands, more than I'm comfortable with even with this type of inflating slime, so I am going to take off just a little bit for this one. So it gets 4.8 out of 5 pajamas. And lastly, we have probably the funniest slime I've ever gotten. This one is called Kushmas Cookies. And the name, honestly, it makes me laugh every single time because it sounds like, I don't even know, like Kushmas Cookies, like I don't know, I find it hilarious. Anyways, I also got this 3-ounce of the same thing, and since they were both slightly underfilled, I just added them together. I don't know if that was what I was supposed to do, but that's what I did because I thought it made sense. Anyways, this is a milky semi-foam that has marshmallow foam beads in it. It is scented like sugar cookies, vanilla pudding, and slightly like earthy cannabis. And it comes with weed charms and Fimos, colorful round sprinkles, and regular sprinkles. This one has a lot in it. So you guys know, when I hear a slime texture that isn't part of the norm, I have to try it. So of course, since this one was labeled as a milky semi-foam, I had to know what milky was like, and this slime feels milky. Like, it is extremely smooth and silky and milky, and that mixed with the color, it looks exactly like pudding, and I think if you made pudding into a slime, this is what it would feel like. It's so cool. Also, marshmallow foams are one of my favorite textures, and I swear no slime shop does them. They're so underrated, and like the bubble pops are the best. Like, if you like floams or micro floams, you have to try a marshmallow foam slime because I think they're 10 times better. I did notice with this slime in particular, the base was a little thin, so that led to some residue on my hands, so I did activate it just a little bit, and it fixed it for the most part, but there definitely is still some residue when it is inflated, but it's not enough to really get on my nerves, so I wasn't too worried about it. This slime is scented a blend of many different scents, but it doesn't smell like what I thought it would smell like. I can definitely smell the vanilla pudding and maybe some earthy tones, but to me it smells like an herbal tea, and it's been driving me up the wall because I swear I've tried this tea before and I just cannot figure it out. As far as I know, it's tea. It's just very herbal and it smells kind of flowery. It smells amazing, just not what I thought it would smell like. And once again, this one gets 5 out of 5 pajamas. Again, I do apologize for not filming an outro, and I really don't have time. I am swamped this week. I am lucky to be getting this video out and the next one. But with that, I am signing off, and I will see you guys in the next one.